up, folks? Sean the Average Angler coming at you with another great video, and this one is a good one, man. I tell you, I used to do this a lot when I was younger. As I've gotten older, it's a little more difficult for me to get motivated to do it, mostly because I go to bed so early, because I get up real early every day. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, you like this kind of content, hit that subscribe button down there, become part of the Average Angler community. We really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and let's get on with the video. Now, the video today is what is the best time of day to fish in the summertime? Well, depending on where you live, nighttime could be the best time, all right? Many reasons. The cover of darkness, we get away from the heat. Much more comfortable on those hot summer days. Now, the other advantage of that is I've caught some of my biggest bass at night. It's like they turn off the freaking caution alarm and they start to feed much better at night than they do during the day. Now, there's better times of the month to do it, in my opinion. I really like the full moon or around that full moon. Reason being is with the shadow above, we can start attacking these fish with some different types of baits. Some baits that are very fun, but they also tend to draw very big bites. One thing you want to do when you're fishing at night, without the pressure on the lake and those things, there's two areas I'm going to say to go. One, those areas you avoid during the day because of high boat traffic. This is a great time to go attack those areas. If there's high boat traffic in them and they're not getting much pressure during the day because of it, there's probably some big fish living in these areas. Number two, the community holes. They're community holes for a reason. They hold fish, I'm telling you. Oftentimes at night, those bigger fish come in to feed in those areas. All right, so you probably want to know, what kind of lures are you supposed to throw at night? Well, very much the same a lot of times, but I'm going to give you some tips here on how to set yourself apart. I like to go big, okay? It is night, it's dark. We are trying to throw things to help the fish locate our bait. A good bait is a jig. Don't mind the color. I just grabbed this one because I didn't mind tearing it back off the jig and throwing it away. But I got a big, bulky 3/4 ounce football jig here, and this one happens to have rattles on it. They're included. Okay, little extra noise, help the fish find your bait. Big bait, move a lot of water and stand out, right? Okay. Another one for the bottom bouncing stuff would be a big worm. It was always a 10-inch black power worm. Black and blue, black, anything like that. Always did really well for me. But it wasn't the funnest bite, and wasn't always necessarily the best either. Some of the best times I've had on the water came on this baby right here. Okay? Put you a black topwater toad on there, go to work. I like the toad or anything flat for that matter to help so we can slow the bait down some. We don't want it going too slow. We want to be creating commotion, but it helps helps the buzzbait plane at a little slower pace. You can also hold your rod tip kind of up some. That helps also. So the buzzbait's a great way to catch them, and it's a lot of fun. Let me tell you, when you can't see and you just hear that go boosh, that'll get your blood pressure going. Now we're going to get into the really fun stuff. I don't even know if you can get these anymore. These are wake baits, but you can crank them down also. But at night I would work them across the top of the water. These were made by Black Dog Baits. I think they were called, were they shell crackers? Someone help me out? I think they were shell crackers. These are actually smaller ones, but they do pretty darn well at night. They do well during the day also, crank down a little bit. Some other real standouts, and I will put links in the description for you for this stuff. Some of them aren't available anymore, actually. I think this one here, I don't know if they're available anymore or not. This is a Mikey. I wouldn't necessarily want the transparent color at night, but you're really looking for something that's making noise. So you want joints in baits that are gonna knock. This is one of those baits that will do that. This is an Optimum Baits wake bait. You can also crank them down. They'll go down about a foot. They come in all kinds of different colors, but one of my favorites of all time is this baby right here. Okay, and you can hear that coming across the water. This is responsible for one of my biggest bass ever. It was a 12.8 ounce largemouth that I caught at night, about 9 o'clock at night. Couldn't see, but I sure as hell could hear it, and I sure felt it when he ate it. Okay, so that is a MS Slammer, by the way. And what I'll say is these are pretty simplistic. Okay, it almost looks like a broomstick with a little bit of taper to it. But the thing is, it's got that nice knocking sound because they're wood. The other thing I'll say is not all of these are good. And this is why. If you look at the cut here, not perfect. Okay, it's not centered, it's not symmetrical. When you find a good one, you got a good one. I've got quite a few in here. This one was much better. You'll also notice there's more movement on this one in the back. Anyway, all we really need to do is create a commotion on top, and that wood makes noise to call the fish to it, okay? They think it's a struggling fish. They think it's just a dumb fish. I don't really know. Either way, these types of baits make noise, and they get bit really well at night. Some good areas to probe are those flats, okay? Those feeding flats near deep water. If you have an area that's a nice big flat and then drops off to deep water, those would be great places to do this. Points for that matter. I mean, really, you want to call out the obvious at night because it gets so much easier to catch the fish when they're not as weary. So another good one, G-Rat, Sneaky Pete's. Yeah, sorry, drawing a blank there. Now these happen to be originals. They're wood, so a little different sound. The new ones are molded. They work too. Now this bait makes a lot of noise. Makes a lot of commotion with that lip, and you can reel it really slow, okay? That is the Tactical River to Sea Tactical Wake 210. Okay, they come in this really cool box. They come with a spare tail. I don't think they sold as good as they were hoping, so you seem to be able to get them on sale everywhere. So that is a really good one. Makes a lot of noise, puts out a good V-wake behind it for tracking purposes. And man, I'm telling you, when you get one of those fish to commit, they commit to these things big time. There's no mistaking at night. They drop the boom, as our friends at the MPFL like to say. So those are some of my favorites for night fishing. I'll give you a few other ones that work really good that maybe some people just don't think about. Colorado spinnerbait. I like a heavy one to get it down. Keep it down on the bottom. Big Colorado, just like a black and blue. Big Colorado spinnerbait's always a good one. Some other ones. Deep diving crankbaits. Noisier the better. Noisy ones work really good. Now on occasion, you may find that a quieter one shines because you can kind of sneak up on the fish. If you are able to locate them and know where they're at, and you can sneak up on them, a lot of times that surprise fish is going to come unglued on it. But big crankbaits is another one. And I don't just mean big by deep diving. Let me show you. I mean like this. This is I think it's a Megabass S crank. There's another one. okay? And the slower you reel these, you can also keep these up near the top. That's the beauty of them. You'll see this one. I painted these. These are knockoffs. There's another one. And yet another one. Didn't finish that one. I got no eyes on them. I forgot to put the eyes in. Okay, those are good. Could be something like this guy. All of these are fairly noisy. All of them are bulky baits. We don't want baits that we have to burn. We want baits that we can work at a steady pace, make it easy for the fish to track, because the noise is going to make them curious and they're going to come and check it out. So, that said, jigs with rattles. If you're throwing a worm, throw something on there with a tungsten weight and bead, so you shake it every once in a while. Call their attention to it. Draw them in. Night fishing can be a lot of fun. I'm telling you, it's a whole lot of fun. Not every night's great. I just find the full moon time is typically a great time to do it if you have bluff walls, okay? If you have bluff walls that are rocky, goes down into deep water, these are fantastic places to fish, all right? Especially with these topwater wake baits making a lot of freaking noise, and you don't have to move them real fast. There are big fish that live in those areas, and those big fish will come up and crush your topwater, and oh boy, is it a thrill at nighttime. All right, couple pointers. Bug spray. Make sure you got bug spray, okay? Lights. We don't want to have lights on because they draw the bugs in. Turn your light on, get like a headlamp. Turn it on when you hook up, okay? When you need to see something, you can turn it on. Otherwise, try to keep them off. Navigation lights, listen. If you hear something approaching, turn your lights on. Otherwise, I like to leave them off. I know, not the brightest thing, but if you listen, you can tell someone's coming. It's pretty quiet out there at night. If you're on a busy lake, leave your lights on, okay? But it's usually pretty quiet out there at night. Most people are getting off the lake. All the Yahoo jet skis, wakeboard boats, all that other stuff, they're off the lake. It's your time to go out there and have some fun. Now, I will say this. The best time that I've noticed is typically from 9 to midnight. I don't know, once it gets past that point of it's been dark a few hours, things change. Now, when the full moon's out and it's bright and overhead, that can change. But if you're out there on a night when the moon's not out very much, it just typically seems to be that first few hours of darkness really lights off, and I think it's a lot of times it's dusk. We need a little bit of something to help the bass see the bait and everything else moving around down there so they can hone in on it. Now, they have their lateral line, but it doesn't hurt one bit to have some moon out and casting a shadow for us, if you will, all right? Paints that silhouette as that bait's coming across that topwater about to get crushed. I really need to get out and do it, guys. I used to do it a lot at Clear Lake, and it's just the last few years when I'm up there, I fish during the day, and it's kind of like you need to go in and take a nap for a while in the middle of the day and then get back up and go back out. Have some dinner, go out and fish for a few hours. Hopefully you catch a fish of a lifetime like I did. I'm Sean, the Average Angler. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.